What's happening, all you lovely people? Welcome back to my channel, Danny FYR. Find your reason. I'm Danny B, aka Stan, aka whatever the you wanna call me. The video I've chosen for today is it looked interesting to me. It's by Top Fives. You know, that channel that sort of confuses you because it gives you 15. So we're watching 15 of the most amazing statues ever made. And again, like I say, it's by Top Fives, the original channel. If you want to go and give them a subscribe, shout out to them. Please consider subscribing to my channel. And I won't keep gabbing now. Let's just jump straight into this, see what's going on. Here we go.
Statues are a big part of our societal history and culture, and a lot of them are also strikingly beautiful. For today's video, we thought we'd take a look at 15 of the most amazing statues. Number 15, Expansion by Paige Bradley. This stunning statue is created using bronze, electricity, and mixed media, and you can see it for yourself if you take a trip to London. Depicting a woman meditating in the lotus position, it was created by taking a wax sculpture and dropping it onto the floor. Each of the pieces was then cast in bronze and assembled so that they float apart from each other. The statue's creator, artist Paige Bradley, said, quote, "If we disconnected and severed our attachments, would we shatter our confinements and expand beyond our shell? Would the world look different? Would we recognize ourselves? This is the irony of containment. As long as we don't push on the walls of our surroundings, we may never know how strong we really are." End quote. Bradley came up with the idea after moving to Manhattan and learning that there was a movement within the art world towards fewer figures. She said that many figurative sculptors had started teaching because there was little interest in figure sculptures in museums and galleries. One of the most interesting things about
that is beautiful. It does look lovely and all that, but my first thought was there were going to be like mega statues, you know, big massive ones. There might still be, but let's just find out.
This piece is that it's an example of a Western take on Japanese kintsukuroi, also called kintsugi. It's the art of repairing broken pottery by using lacquer dusted with powdered metals. The idea is to make the breakage and repair part of the object's history, and you could argue that Bradley did the same thing here, but with the use of electricity.
Cup of tea.
Number 14, Sinking Building by Petrus. The State Library in Melbourne, Australia was already a historical landmark before this statue was ever commissioned. The creation of this just gave people another great reason to visit. All the statue consists of is the top corner of a building poking out of the ground.
It's a bit strange. Just looks like, I don't know, maybe he's a Roman or Greek column and a bit of a roof sticking out of the ground. I mean, yeah. I haven't really got any thoughts on that, to be honest.
And it was commissioned by the city as part of an art program. The fate of this library reminds us of a line in art.
All right, so it was part of a library and then it's been put there. Well, yeah, now I get it a bit more now, yeah. Yeah, I get that a bit more now. A piece of old history turned into a work of art in the city it was in, yeah. I get that. That's pretty nice then.
Miller's play The Crucible, which is about the Salem witch trials. At one point, the character exclaims that a box of books is heavy, and they're told that it's because of the weight of the knowledge that's contained within them. One of the interesting things about this piece is that it ties in with an urban legend that's been told at library campuses around the world. In the original story, the library collapsed under the weight of the knowledge. There are other variants like gyms sinking because of the weight of the water in the pools. This stunning sculpture was created by Petrus, and it's one of the city's many tourist attractions.
Lucidchart makes intelligent diagramming easy and helps your best ideas become real.
It was installed on Swanton Street in January of 1993, and it's said to symbolize the downfall of civilization.
Wow.
Number 13.
Well, that turned a bit dark, the downfall of civilization. Whoa. Alright then, let's get on with this one. This looks like a mega one. Genghis Khan or something.
God of War statue by
God of
Han
War.
Malin. This is an epic statue of
Look
Guan
at
Yu,
that.
an iconic general from Chinese history who was turned into a deity after his death. You don't see many bigger statues than this, and they certainly don't come any heavier. Guan Yu weighs in at over 1,300 tons, carrying the weight of nearly 6 fully loaded Boeing 747s.
That's crazy.
Located
Look at
in
the size
Jellum
of
Park
that.
in Jinzhou, the huge statue looms out above the water and dwarfs its surroundings.
I like things like that though, you know, in cities. I don't know, I just think it makes it look mad. Yeah, I don't know, so I just like it. Big, massive statues that symbolise something, you know.
Towering above many of the city's buildings. It's around 190 feet tall, and it's built from over 4,000 strips of bronze. Guan Yu was known for carrying an iconic weapon called the Green Dragon Crescent Blade, and a 136-ton version of it is included as part of his statue. Don't make the mistake of thinking of him as only a warrior, though. He's also known for brotherhood, loyalty, and a whole range of other more positive personality traits.
Nice.
The statue is the brainchild of Chinese artist Han Malin, who was also known for designing the mascots of the 2008 Beijing Olympics. As you can imagine, the sheer size of this thing means that there's also plenty of room inside it, which is why they were able to squeeze in an 8,000 square meter museum into the interior of the statue.
All right. It's
12,
functional as well, eh?
Catalano.
That was a good statue, that one. I like that one. And it was functional, a museum inside. Let's have a look at this one. This one looks a bit trippy, like half a dude.
These statues are located in the French city of Marseille and were created to celebrate its recognition as the European capital of culture. Built in 2013, Les Voyageurs consists of 10 life-size bronze sculptures that can be found on the Marseille waterfront. The title translates into English as The Travelers. They show a series of people with big chunks of their bodies missing.
I think they look a little creepy. Let me know. Someone comment. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts and stuff are. And please subscribe too, yeah?
Rather than being gory or disturbing, it's somehow beautiful. Catalano was born to a Sicilian family in Morocco and moved to France, becoming a sailor before following his passions to turn to art. Much of his art, Les Voyageurs included, is inspired by the time that he spent traveling. It explores the themes of migration and undertaking a journey, with every statue carrying a suitcase that simultaneously weighs them down and offers them support.
Right.
The huge gaps in the sculptures allow the viewer to complete the artwork with their own imagination. Number 11, Popped Up by Laurent Hervé.
Look at that.
This huge work of art is made from polystyrene and is currently on public display in Budapest, Hungary. It's set against the backdrop of the Four Seasons Greensham Palace Hotel and was created by noticed artist Erwin Laurent Hervé, who already has a strong reputation for creating challenging pieces of art.
I don't like that one, like.
Popped Up can be found right beside the Danube River. It was a featured sculpture back in 2014 at the Budapest Art Market, for obvious reasons. It really looks as though the statue is lifting up the grass to poke its head out from beneath the earth. If you're planning on visiting this incredible work of art, you'll want to stop by at night, because that's when it looks its best. It's not that there's anything wrong with it in the daytime, it's just that it's somehow even more striking in the darkness. Better yet, try to see it both daytime and night.
I don't want to see it.
Number 10,
thank you.
Diminish and Ascend by David Mccracken. There's a lady who's sure that all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. But for the rest of us, we'll have to settle for this incredible piece of artwork by David Mccracken.
All right.
Located in Bondi, Australia, this stunning sculpture makes use of perspective to create an ascending staircase that looks as though it reaches all the way up into the heavens.
Yeah, I like that.
Though, because you'll find the steps getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, I get it, the way he's done it, but I like it. It's pretty cool. Stairway to heaven. Obviously, it's just smaller steps as it goes up, but it gives you that illusion that it's further up.
Or until you can't climb any higher. The structure itself is made from welded aluminum and was launched at Sydney's Sculpture by the Sea exhibition. After publicly being unveiled at the world-famous Bondi Beach, it was later moved to Christchurch's Botanic Gardens.
Okay.
Mccracken has explained that the idea came about during, quote, a conversation about a performance piece depicting a ladder that required the protagonist to grow smaller and smaller in order to ascend, a kind of Lewis Carroll device that we talked about achieving with shadow puppetry or projection, end quote. Even though he didn't quite achieve his original vision, he still created a hell of a piece of art.
Yeah. I agree.
Number 9, Nelson Mandela.
Again, let me know what you think. These are just my opinions. Let me know yours.
Mandela statue by Chanfinelli. This is another stunning piece that plays with perspective, in that it doesn't actually look like anything unless you're looking at it from the right place.
That's cool.
It's super clever and a great example of a piece of art that can make you think.
Nelson Mandela.
Created by South African artist Chanfinelli, a busy guy who's worked on a variety of projects ranging from art and architecture to installations in public spaces.
So the way you're looking at it just looks like now
data-driven approaches to create clever computer-generated artwork. This one is a physical sculpture rather than a computer-generated piece, but the odds are pretty high that a computer was required for the design process. But who cares when the results are as cool as they are? This is a statue of Nelson Mandela.
Are you aged 41 to 45 and struggling with debts over £6,000?
Designed due to the 50th anniversary of his capture by South African police in 1962. The statue is 9 meters tall at its highest point and consists of 27 columns, which represent the 27 years that Mandela spent behind bars.
Oh, wow. That's pretty
Number
symbolic.
8, Colossus by Jellum.
I like that one.
This incredible statue was built in Florence, and it's so large that it's more of a geographical feature than a statue. Created by famous sculptor Bologna, it was introduced to the world at the end of the 16th century, and was designed to symbolize Italy's Apennine Mountains.
16th century, wow. I like that. Yeah. Introduced at the end of the 16th century.
In fact, it does depict a mountain god called Apennino, and it's also home to a big secret. Its sheer size means that it's also able to house a number of interior rooms, each of which is dedicated to the functionality of the Colossus. For example, one of them is used to channel water from an underground stream through the monster that the Colossus is holding. The Colossus is over 35 feet tall and towers over Tuscany's Villa di Pratolino, so be sure to check it out if you're in the area. If you're lucky, and if the rumors are true, then you might even see smoke coming from its nostrils due to a fireplace in another one of those rooms. If you want to visit this statue, you'll need to visit Villa Demidoff, the park that it's based in. It's definitely worth a visit if you're in the area.
Yeah.
Number 7.
But I bet you that, like, all these sort of old statues, I bet you that there is these types of things all over the world, you know, that are just hidden, and it just makes you wonder, because obviously there's things still that haven't been discovered. I mean, even like, I'm getting off topic, it's alright, let's go.
Salmon sculpture by Jellum. Nothing quite says Portland, Oregon like this stunning salmon sculpture, which depicts a salmon sticking out of the wall of a building. It's surprisingly realistic once you get over the fact that it's dozens of times bigger than any salmon that's found in nature. The statue was hand-forged in bronze by a local Oregonian sculptor, and it's just over 10 feet in length. Despite being this big, a lot of tourists overlook it because it's up on the 3rd floor of the building.
Yeah.
And so if you don't look up, then you can easily walk straight past this fishy masterpiece without even seeing it.
I mean,
As
I
for
get
where
it.
to find it, just follow the smell of salmon. It's sticking out of South Park Seafood Restaurant on the northwest corner of the Southwest Salmon Street. And so even though the statue itself isn't made of fish, it's surrounded by the stuff. Is anybody else hungry?
I wouldn't say it's an amazing statue, put it that way.
Metamorphosis by David Cerny. Located at the Whitehall Technology Park in Charlotte, North Carolina, this 25-foot sculpture is made out of stainless steel and can be found at the American Asset Corporation's headquarters. But don't worry though, you don't need to be an employee there to see it. Creator David Cerny was born in Prague in the Czech Republic, and Metamorphosis was his first permanent public installation in the United States. Cerny explained, quote, "I was thinking about doing something as a centerpiece. I knew I wanted to employ water from the beginning."
Yeah, I thought it was.
Mission accomplished then, David. The statue weighs 13 tons and stands 7 meters tall and shows a metallic human head that's situated in a reflective pool.
That's crazy,
That brings in the water element, although the original design was supposed to spout water from the mouth.
I thought that's what it done.
Metamorphosis was first introduced to the world in 2007, and it's made from 40 layers of stainless steel that can revolve and rotate. A similar sculpture of the head of surrealist writer Franz Kafka can be found in the Czech capital of Prague.
But these are more like art.
5,
I wouldn't say
Morsa.
this isn't 50 most amazing statues ever made. I mean, it's more like sort of artsy, other than that big dude, and I like that Nelson Mandela one. That was even more like art. You know what I'm saying? It's more like an art video. This one to me.
By Daniel Furman. Ursa first came to public attention in 2008 when it was first displayed at the Fontainebleau Castle in Paris. Designed by Daniel Furman, this incredible statue shows an elephant balancing on its trunk. It's not actually possible, of course, on the ground at least. The artist says that 11,000 miles above the Earth, the gravity would be weak enough for it to happen. In fact, Furman worked with a number of specialists to make sure the sculpture is the best it could possibly be. This includes consulting a taxidermist so he could make sure that the elephant was realistic, or as realistic as an elephant balancing on its trunk can be. Furman's work is characterized by taking everyday ideas and elements and putting them into unusual situations. Ursa itself is notable for characterizing both lightness and weight and representing an equilibrium.
Nah, man, I'm not digging that one. I wasn't digging that elephant like you say, it's more getting more artsy now, more artwork.
By Tom Frenson. This entertaining statue has a name that translates into Channel Rascal.
I like that.
And it's a former nickname from people who come from the Brussels suburb of Saint-Jean-Molenbeek. That's also where the statue is. As for the statue itself, it shows a policeman being tripped up by a guy climbing out of a manhole, and it was first released to the public back in 1985.
I like
this permanent piece of street art has reminded a lot of people of Banksy's work, but it was created over 20 years before Banksy hit the mainstream. Said to represent the idea of the common man overthrowing authority, it was created by a Brussels-based sculptor called Tom Frenson. It's said to be inspired by a cartoonist named Hergé, who was mostly known for creating Tintin. And despite being nearly 40 years old, it's still a major draw for tourists. Perhaps because of its anti-authoritarian message is just as relevant now as it was when it was first created.
I must say, where I live in Middlesbrough, northeast England, and in the centre of our town, where our war memorial is from the Second World War, we've got statues of people from our town who served in the Second World War. And I think they're made out of bronze, but they are really, really, really lovely statues. I'll have to, maybe one day I'll take you just for a tour around my town, just to show you some bits. Maybe I should do that in one video.
Number 3, Kelpies Grangemouth. Arguably Scotland's most iconic statue, and one of the most well-known in the whole of the United Kingdom, these 30-meter-tall Kelpies set the backdrop of Grangemouth's historic Forth and Clyde Canal.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, with that much height to them, the Kelpies are the world's largest pair of equine sculptures, and they sit at the heart of the Helix project. The goal of this project was to create a major tourist attraction, blending together parkland and a visitor hub through a massive £43 million investment.
And if the glow blew at night, yeah, that
These
looks
statues
lovely.
were inspired by the horses that were historically...
But it cost how much? $52 million? What was that?
A major tourist attraction, blending together parkland and a visitor hub through a massive £43 million investment. That's the equivalent to around $57 million. These statues were inspired by the horses that were historically in use on the canal to pull boats along the towpaths. Horses have always played an important role in the area, and Grangemouth wouldn't be the place it is today without them. Kelpies themselves are mythical water horses that were said to have the strength of 10 regular horses and the ability to transform their shape. Don't expect the statue to transmogrify anytime soon, though.
They are nice. They are
Number
nice.
2, Mihai Eminescu by Oscar Hahn. This incredible sculpture.
I'm going to show you how you can save loads of money online using the Pouch browser extension.
Only works when viewed from a certain angle, but when you get that angle just right, it's absolutely stunning. These photos speak for themselves. Located in Romania, this statue depicts Mihai Eminescu and overlooks the seafront, a deliberate choice that's informed by one of Eminescu's poems, which goes, quote, "I have one desire, in the silence of the night, let me die at the edge of the sea." Sculptor Oscar Hahn created this masterpiece back in the 1930s. What's interesting about this statue is that we can thank a guy called I.N. Roman for it. Roman was a lawyer, writer, and the mayor of Constanta, and he knew Eminescu personally. He raised funds for the statue and then unfortunately passed away the year before it was unveiled. That's bad news for Roman, but good news for the rest of us, as we can still go see the statue now, even 100 years later. It's definitely one to add to your bucket list. Number 1. The Motherland Calls.
Now
by
that's
Yevgeny Vuchetnik
a statue.
and Nikolai Nikitin. This incredible statue is one of the tallest in the world, and is part of a memorial to Stalingrad on Mamayev Hill.
That's what I'm
where
talking
the battle
about.
was fought.
I mean, Stalingrad, I get it, but thingy, with things what's going on now, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about it. Let's just finish this last statue.
Stalingrad was named a Soviet hero city in 1945. Construction began in 1959, and it was completed in 1967. The Motherland Calls is the headline act at the memorial, a 172-foot-tall statue depicting a winged woman with a sword in her hand.
Still a
magnificent It's built in a style
statue.
called Socialist Realism. At completion, it was the tallest statue in the world, and even today, it's the tallest outside of Asia, and the tallest statue of a woman.
That's
It
crazy.
represents the Soviet motherland and is designed to inspire Soviet citizens to fight against its enemy.
Yeah,
It's
man.
believed that the figure is based upon Nina Dumdats, a famous discus thrower.
I believe
who faces
things
said to
like
be based
that
upon
do,
Vucetnik's
like,
wife, Vera.
inspire a
It weighs an
country.
insane 8,000 tons.
Unify.
Consists of 5,500 tons of concrete and
Maybe I'm wrong.
2,400 tons of metal. The sword alone weighs 14 tons. Imagine trying to wield that.
Well, I wouldn't say it was like 15 of the most amazing statues. Well, yeah, anyway, I don't know. I don't know what you call them. It depends which way you look at it, I suppose. Or what you were expecting from the video, you know what I mean? I was expecting more of them taller, big, massive statues, you know, because I've seen others like in Asia and stuff as well. I thought it was going to be like that, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna look for something else to do in a minute. So, but for this video, I'm out. I'm Danny B, aka Stan, aka whatever that you wanna call me. And until next time, my people, stay well. You know how it go. Peace.